Hello, I'm Adam McNichol and welcome to the Match Committee, our new Thursday teams show where we bring you all the ins and outs, hot off the press, and tackle a big question for each game. I'm joined in the studio by Peter Ryan and Ashley Brown. And boys, let's get straight into it with the season opener between Collingwood and Fremantle at Etihad Stadium. No outs this week, of course, so we bring you the new players in each team. Tom Langdon and Taylor Adams, the former GWS player, in there for Collingwood. No new boys in the Freo side, but Colin Sylvia, the former Melbourne player, has been named on the bench. Now, the big question for this game: can the Pies stop Walters and Ballantyne? Pete, we'll kick off with you.
Well, it's a huge question because Walters is a great player. The last time Collingwood played Fremantle, he actually kicked 4 goals and managed to earn 3 Brownlow votes. Now, it's a different look, Collingwood, at that stage. They had Brent McCaffrey trying to shut down Walters. He turned him inside out. He wasn't really sure what he was supposed to be doing. 2 of the most exciting players in the competition, Ballantyne and Walters. I just love them. But Collingwood's got the ever-reliable Alan Tuvey back from a knee reco to do the big job. They've also got a first gamer, the other ever-reliable Tommy Langdon, so I expect them to be capable of shutting them down.
What I want to see in this game, boys, is whether Hayden Ballantyne's shtick, the in-your-face and the verbals. I mean, he was humiliated in the grand final, played a shocker, 14 touches, only 2 points and a few misses, as we've seen.
It's an easy knock on Ballantyne, but he'll be fine. He's mentally tough. We saw Harry Taylor respond from a shocking grand final premiership player.
That's not part of his shtick, though. That's not part of what he does.
Great players, big challenge for Collingwood.
Very excited about the opening game of the season. But now to the second game of the season, the Battle of the Bridge, Greater Western Sydney versus the Sydney Swans, Spotless Stadium Saturday evening. Some new boys there for the Giants: Dylan Addison, Shane Mumford, Josh Hunt and Heath Shaw, all recycled players, of course. The big bud, he's in there for the Swannies. Lance Franklin and Jeremy Laidler from Carlton is in from the Swans as well. Now, the big question for this game: GWS's Phil Davis has been doing the big buddy study. Ash, can the buddy study achieve its aim?
What's the study, Ads? We know 2 things. He can't take an overhead mark, and if you give him space on the ground to run onto the ball, he's going to kill you every time. That's all, Phil, that's all you need to learn. Be interesting with Buddy because against lesser opponents, he sometimes lacks some motivation, but I think this time, first up, Battle of the Bridge, first game for the new colours. He could kick 2, could kick 8.
It doesn't matter what Buddy does. I think this is a big challenge for Phil Davis, but his study buddies for the Buddy study this time have been Josh Hunt and Heath Shaw, both premiership players. That's going to help the studious Phil Davis enormously. He would have sat down with Buddy. He's 23, Phil Davis. This is his chance to stamp himself on the competition. He's going to play on Buddy in the Battle of the Bridge for the next 9 years. If he plays on him well in the next 2 years, he's got an 8-year contract. They'll be still battling it out at 34 and 36 each. This is a great match-up and I'm really looking forward to it.
Fantastic. It is going to be a really big game, the Battle of the Bridge, but we move on. Gold Coast versus Richmond, Metricon Stadium, Saturday night. Very big game. The Gold Coast have got a couple of debutants there, Lemons, Cameron and Jack Martin. Wow, hasn't there been some hype about him? Matt Thomas, fresh off the rookie list, is going to make his debut for Richmond. The former Port Adelaide player might even get the big job on Gary Ablett. Ash, the big question for this game: what would a loss mean for the Tigers?
I have to ask you this question, Ed. The good teams this year, the Gold Coast at Metricon, they're going to be hard to beat. The good teams will go out there this year, Ed. They'll just get the win. Don't wait, percentage round run, you don't need it. 4 points, no injuries, walk away. The Tigers, they've been chastened after last year. This is what they do, Pete. They just need to get out there and get a win.
Richmond supporters just need to relax. Look, I know they've lost 7 of the last 9 round ones. I know they panic at this stage of the year. But Damien Hardwick's not Clark Griswold, and this is not the valley that the Griswolds visited. This is Metricon Stadium. There are no disasters waiting for them there. They're going to get the job done. If I was a Richmond supporter, I'd set up the barbecue. It's March. It's going to be 30 degrees on the Gold Coast. It's going to be 30 degrees in Melbourne. I'd put Pharrell Williams happy on. I'd get everyone in a great vibe. And then at the end of the game, I'd put Rose Tattoo, We Can't Be Beaten, and play it for the next 2 weeks.
It's a long 2 weeks, so if you lose round 1.
Lose.
It's a long 2 weeks to wait till round 2.
There you go, Tigers fans.
Relax.
Calm down.
Relax.
Enjoy. Now, the last game of week 1 of round 1. Carlton versus Port Adelaide at Etihad Stadium, Sunday night. Sunday night footy makes its debut. And look at those new boys there for Carlton. Dale Thomas, the former Collingwood player, Paddy Cripps, Andreas Everett and young Holman in as well. Pollock, Impey and Cleary, the new players for the Power. Some interesting selections there. Now, the big question surrounding this game: can Daisy make the difference for Carlton, Pete?
Well, he might make the difference in this game, but we can't expect him to make the difference for a premiership team. The Blues have only had one player win a premiership in wearing the number 39. Who would that be, Ash?
Ange Christo.
And good work. Daisy Thomas has taken the number 39. He's inspired by Warwick Kappa. He's going to add bounce to Carlton. He's going to add flair. He's a big game player. We all know that. We've seen that for many years. This is a big game for Carlton. This is a big game for Daisy, and he will perform on the big stage. It's then a matter of just getting rolling from then on.
But the difference maker for Carlton, I mean, Daisy will be nice. The difference maker for Carlton is going to be a guy like Jared Waite playing more than 12 games a season, which has been his average the last 3 years.
Is Jared Waite named? He's playing this weekend, so they're away.
Big recruits, the players make a difference. That's why Hawthorn went and got guys like McAvoy, and Sydney got Franklin. The key position players are the ones who come into size and make a difference if you really want to go from 7th or 8th up to the top 4.
He'll be the difference.
Thank you, Peter.
Last word as always.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
Adam Hamilton from tab.com.au joins us now to go through a couple of key markets. And Adam, I'm sure everyone at the Tab is looking forward to a big season.
Yes, we certainly are. There's been tremendous betting interest already through the NAB Challenge, and now we roll into the season proper, where there's been a lot of money in round one and for the Premiership as well.
And what can you tell us about the Premiership market at this stage?
Well, it's the most open Premiership market we've had for at least a decade. As you can see there's very little separating the three most favoured teams. Hawthorn just have the call at this stage at $4.50. A lot of support for Fremantle, even more money for the Sydney Swans. Geelong are at $9. They've been virtually written off by some, but we did take a $10,000 bet on the Cats only a week ago.
And a stack of talk about Big Buddy Franklin's move up to the Swans. What sort of market have you framed for us here?
Well, we've got a special Buddy market. He's one of the $8 equal favourites to win the Coleman medal. You would think he's got to kick a lot of goals to do that. Let's have a look at the bracket options for how many goals he'll kick this season. Surprises me a little bit, the favourite way is $2.50 for that 51 to 60 goal range. If you think he can go higher, 61 to 70 goals at $3. And, well, to win the Coleman, he may need to kick 71 or more, which is paying $6.
Very intriguing, Adam. Thanks very much for that.
Thanks, Adam. You can check all of the markets for the AFL this round and the futures at tab.com.au.
Thanks for that, Adam, and thanks to you boys, Pete and Ash.
I can hardly wait for it to start.
Good to have the footy back.
Fantastic. And a heads up that next week one of our most popular programs is back on afl.com.au. Access All Areas will kick off on Monday with Gary Lyon joining Damien Barrett to thrash out all the news and issues after the weekend's action. So don't miss Access All Areas this Monday. Thank you for joining us on the Match Committee. We'll be back at the same time next Thursday. Catch you then.